Alright, so for today's video, we're going to do a little bit of hopper cleaning, chipping, detailing, whatever you want to call it. So this neglected little piggy has quite a bit of build-up and scaling around it. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a needle scaler here. We'll use that to rough in the sides of the hopper, and then we'll follow it up with our DA sander with some 40 grit discs. We've also got our air chisel here for some of the bigger, bulkier stuff. And then carbide tip scraper, an indispensable tool for hopper cleaning. This thing works really, really well. Just don't ever use it on a painted surface. It'll gouge that paint off with one swipe. So then we got our traditional scraper here. So I'm going to start off with a needle scaler on all this fine stuff. And then I'm going to follow it up with the 40 grit DA sander. And yeah, we'll just follow along here. All right, step one, here we go. Let's knock some of this heavier stuff off the sides with the needle scaler. All right, so quick check-in here. What you can see is, especially over on this other side, there still is a lot of original paint on this hopper. And this stuff is epoxy-based paint, so it's extremely durable. So to get this off, you do have to work it a little bit with the sander, even much more so than just taking concrete off. But the goal is, I'll get the whole thing to be smooth like that, all the way around. And then washouts are going to be much quicker and easier. And I just find when the hopper is clean to begin with, it's a lot easier to keep it that way. Because it's pretty easy to spot what's new from that day. Because if there was no concrete there before, and at day's end there is concrete there, it's pretty much a given that it's new. So anyhow, keep plugging away at this here. All right, here we go. Sanded down, oiled up, ready for action. Like I said, this is a little bit of a expedited hopper cleaning here today because I got a job to run to. But yeah, nice, clean, smooth, oiled up on the sides there. I would like to get all that paint off. That's going to require a little bit more time. As I mentioned, it's quite resilient stuff. Anyhow, should make for easier washouts, happier times, and above all else, professional presentation. There we go. I'll check back in with a part 2 to this video when we tackle this big ugly mess of concrete buildup. Over and out for now. All right, so here we go. Day 2 of hopper chipping, cleaning, restoration. Got the needle scaler, got the air chisel, and what's different today is we got the battery powered grinder with a sanding disc on it. So last time I was using the DA sander and having issues with the painted walls of the hopper. It's that epoxy based paint and it's very stubborn to get off. So today I'm going to hit it with this bad boy here and we'll peel it right down to nice clean metal. And then when we're done with that, we'll take our air chisel. We'll just give each of these hopper grate bars a little buzz, buzz, buzz to shake the bulk, the thick, the heavy stuff off the bars. And then we'll attack them here with the needle scaler. Give them a little more buzz action. We'll get the underside of the vibrator there too with the needle scaler, not with the chipping hammer. We don't want to risk damaging it. And then when that's all done, we'll finish the party here with our carbide tip scraper. We'll clean the grate bars up further with that. So yeah, a little bit more work to go here, or a lot more work to go here actually. But yeah, this grinder here with this sanding disc, this is the hot ticket. This powers through stuff pretty darn quick. So let's get started. Right, so here we go. It's grinder time. Let's hit this one side here. See how this works in comparison to the DA sander. All right, so that's definitely a lot quicker and faster. So we're gonna roll with this for a bit. We'll take care of the sides of the hopper here, and then we'll move on to our grate. All right, so with the needle scaler here, I'm just gonna work these grate bars a little bit. And then we'll come in behind here with my fancy dancy carbide scraper. And give them some further love. So this is going to take some time. One thing I will mention, when you get up in here on the vibrator, be very careful with this thing. If you dent these end caps in, and these end caps are made of very thin metal, if you dent them in, the actual weights which rotate inside there can get hung up on the body of the end cap, and you can mess your vibrator up. So don't do that, obviously. Work very gingerly around the vibrator here with your needle scaler. So just going to work the vibrator, the grate bars. I'll work what is the top side when the grate's not flipped backwards. Work the top side of the grate. We get her nice and clean, and yeah, show you the final product here. And I'll probably be an hour working on this. So, and actually one other thing I'm going to use here, I should mention, before starting on the stuff with the needle scaler, sometimes your first pass, just a regular air chisel applied to the bars, the grate bars, is a good start. It'll shake a lot of this stuff off, like so. Not like that exactly, but let's get this back up here. Let's give her a good one of these. And yeah, you can see how a good bit of it flakes off, so that's actually a good starting point before moving on to the needle scaler. So I'm going to give that a quick pass with the air chisel, needle scaler, and then carbide scraper. All right, so ignoring the lid, here we go, final product. Let's flip this grate back. Look at that, nice, clean, shiny, mostly paint-free. Ready for tomorrow's easy washout. Got the grate all chipped off too, the vibrator for the most part. A lot of guys have asked and are going to ask, why do we mount the vibrator inverted like that on the grate? Well, the reason is, two reasons actually. Reason number one being, sitting up there, it's safe from the chutes on the ready mix trucks. They can't smash into it. Guys will say, oh, but you've got it submerged in the concrete, it gets dirty. Or yeah, it gets dirty, but it also gets dirty sitting up top there too. So either way you want to look at it, it's going to get dirty. Could really probably put a plastic bag over it or something if I was really that concerned about it. But the main reason, the big reason, from the factory, they mount them over on the driver's side of the grate. And what that does is it wears out the dowel and bushing prematurely on this side of the hopper. And on these particular Putzmeister hoppers, that dowel passes through a seal, which goes to the hopper grate safety switch, which will leak, as this one is. They always kind of do, except for when they're brand new. But that will wear out and leak much sooner with the grate sitting on that offset to the driver's side there. As you'll notice, what we've done, when you do hang the vibrator in the middle of the grate, you got to reinforce it with an extra plate of steel. Otherwise, this actually it'll sag and it'll crack through after a period of time. So you will need to reinforce that eventually. But anyhow, yeah, back to the hopper. Nice, clean, oiled up. Is it detailed and perfect? No, you could spend a lot of time on this. I'm into this thing for about 2.5 hours now, and I still got to do the lid on it. But this is going to make my washouts so much easier. It will make every day easier, less stressful, less frustrating. When I get on time, or get time on site rather, waiting for mixers, between loads of concrete, whatever, I will get this cleaner using my carbide scraper here. It's just going to take some time. I could spend hours on this, but we are looking pretty good. This is so much better than it was when I started, and I am excited to go out and pump some concrete tomorrow. So that'll pretty much wrap it up for the video. I guess the lesson and moral of the story is keep your stuff clean and you never get to the point where you gotta do this to begin with. I won't throw anybody under the bus, but the normal fellow that runs this pump is away on holidays, so he's going to come back to a nice surprise, and hopefully it will stay nice and clean like this. And hopefully by that time, this will be done too. Maybe I'll throw a picture of this this lid in a future video once I do have it all cleaned up. But like I said, that could be days, weeks, months, who knows. It'll take some time. So anyhow, thanks again for watching. Over and out. Alright, so when all is said and done here, this was our catch for the day. I'm going to say we had 13.7 pounds of concrete. And that's probably about half as much as I got from the day before when I started on this little project. So, or half as much again, I should say. So yeah, that is the fruits of our labor. How rewarding is that? Not very, but we'll go with it. Alright, so just a little bit of an update with regards to this hopper lid that I've been working away on. Squirt, 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 squirt. Done that to it about 5 times now over the last 2 hours. Just do that and a little bit of a... So it does come clean, but man, oh man, I got my work cut out for me. Like I said, we'll call this a project. Just had to do a little update here. Remember that hopper lid that we were working on that was just absolutely grotesque? Well, we're getting somewhere with it. You can even see remnants of the little happy AJ Pumper man. Still see just that little bit of his smiley face there. Anyhow, yeah, it was a matter of spraying with backset chemical or con-off, whatever you want to call it. Scraping it, backsetting it, scraping it, literally about frickin' 10 times over. And we finally got it to a reasonable state. And yeah, we'll just keep chipping away at this, and someday it'll be, well, not shiny, but better. But anyhow, that's the only way to get that particular piece of equipment clean is just good old elbow grease and a little bit of chemical. So there she is.